Hi, hey, hello, how's it going? It's Emily. And today is going to be another exciting vlog. We're doing vlog 2 in my journey to read all of Sarah J Maas's books before the end of October when her next release is coming out. So we have read ACOTAR and ACOMAF, and now we are on A Court of Wings and Ruin, or ACOWAR. And so this is the third book in the ACOTAR series, and we will be skipping over to Throne of Glass next and reading Throne of Glass, then coming back for the novella and A Court of Silver Flames. So we'll be doing this one, and then I've got Throne of Glass right here ready to go. Very excited, and I'm reading this one for the first time. So the first 3 books in ACOTAR I've read before, but that is it. And so this is brand new territory for me. I could not be more excited. So let's check in. And this one's going to be harder because it's the third book in a series. This one's going to be, I think, harder to talk about, and future episodes are going to be harder to talk about because I'm just getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the Throne of Glass series, and I won't really know what to say without being spoilery. Anyway, we are, as I said, on ACOWAR. Can you even see my bookmark? I am in the ballpark of halfway through. And again, since I knew this would be hard to talk about, I just kind of started reading, and then all of a sudden I'm halfway through and absolutely loving this one. So we are starting to set up some politics in the second one to confront the big bad, right? So, there's a lot that she needed to figure out, our main character here. I'm not going to, recap everything that's happened so far, but we are following, for those of you who haven't heard of any of these books and didn't watch the first episode, we're following Feyre, who is, for reasons, taken into the Fey lands and basically forced to stay in the spring court of the Fey lands for the first part of the book, and needs to kind of go deeper into the world in the second part of the book. And in the second one, the world really opens up for her, and she's meeting different people. She's getting to learn the politics and how she might be a critical part in playing a role in helping defeat this big bad. So the second book really was about setting up some of the politics, getting to know, expanding the world, getting to know some of the players that are going to be involved in this fight, this war that we know is coming from the second book. And, of course, some parts of the first book setting this up as well, but really in the second book is when we're learning more about the politics, as Feyre is learning more about the politics. And so this is a romantasy. Romance plays a very heavy role in this. I won't talk too much about that in a spoiler-free context, but romance is a big part of this, with the person that she's romantically attached to playing a key role in all of this as well, this political situation. And so I guess there's a good dose of that, but there is definitely a heavy balance of this political situation going on, political machinations, and going to different places to either find out key pieces of information, try to convince people to do certain things. Maybe there's an object that's needed for a particular part of this. So that's kind of some of the setup as well. And part of this as well, trying to figure out some more information. In this one, Feyre starts out in a certain place and needs to kind of go back somewhere, but she has some things to do before she goes back to where she wants to go. She needs to kind of stir up some trouble and learn some key pieces of information before she can go back. So the first part of the book is her doing exactly that. And then once she is working to go back to where she wants to go and reconnecting with some of the others, they're learning more about the politics. They are learning how close this war is actually coming to starting. And so they're trying to gather their forces and ultimately recruit help in defeating this big bad and defeating Hybern. And so, yeah, so a lot is going down, a lot is happening, and Hybern is getting closer and closer to where they are. And, things are starting to go down. They're trying to figure out who they should help protect, who can help protect them, how they can all band together, and, trying to meet with people to work out situations where they all agree to help each other. And so it's been a lot of fun. It has been a lot of fun to go through all of those things. And yeah, so I'm going to continue on. I know the last half of this is really heavy with the war situation that's going on, and kind of what we're leading up to here is definitely, the start of that is definitely happening. So very exciting stuff going on. Definitely eager to continue. And although I did read this one, I mentioned this in the first episode as well, but although I have read this, it has been 5 years or so since I have read these. So the details have certainly mostly fled my mind. I know some of the major things that happened, but a lot of the details not really there in my brain anymore. So it's been good to reread these and just go back over those details and get back into this world. I have been so excited to get back into this one ever since reading Akamath. So we're finally here. We're finally doing it. And as I said, very excited to dip into Throne of Glass next. So I will continue reading. If I have anything else to mention coming up that's a spoiler-free thought, I will certainly update. So we'll see what happens. So let's check in. I have finished A Court of Wings and Ruin. I didn't really know what else to say about it throughout reading the rest of it. I mean, again, this is the third book in a series. So, but yeah, so I was talking about the first half kind of being finalizing some of the political situation, gathering allies, figuring out some of Hybern's moves and how to kind of outmaneuver them, going through some of the battles, and you had different battle sequences in the last part of it. I mean, this is just so much fun. This is just so much fun. I love the found family in this series. I love our characters, not just despite their flaws, but, a lot of just interesting characters with flaws. And I think I love these even more on a reread than I did the first time. So I'm really, really, really glad that I reread these. And I have since, for the first time, been reading Throne of Glass, and also very much having a good time with this one. So, of course, in this one, we're following Selena Sardathian, who is an assassin, and she's forced to be in this mine. And so that's kind of where she's been. She's taken out, or she's taken from where she is and is told to go meet the prince. So she's escorted by the captain of the guard for the prince, and meets the prince and says, "Hey, my father is going to be hosting this tournament. Well, he wants a champion, an assassin, a right-hand weapon, and he wants to have this competition to figure out who that's going to be. So there are a bunch of people who are each going to have their own kind of champion fighting in this competition, and the prince is asking her to be his kind of representative in this competition, to be the king's assassin, essentially. And if she wins this competition and does a certain number of years of service for the king, she will be freed from this mine that she's forced to work in. And so, we learn a little bit about her being an assassin, how she was caught, and a little bit about her past, but her past is a little bit of a mystery. We get little bits here and there But we're just kind of thrown into the action of going straight to the prince, getting introduced to this tournament. She knows she can beat everyone else in this tournament. And so she wants to win her freedom. And the prince even is hopefully going to be able to negotiate her being able to be free in, even less years than might initially be told. And so she wants to win. And so she goes to the palace along with these other contestants. She's kind of sizing up the competition and they're training. So I love a good set of trials or a tournament in a book. I almost always love that setup. And no different here. I'm absolutely loving this. So we're training. She's basically training with the captain of the guard who we meet in the first scene, who took her to go meet the prince. And so they're training. They're going through these different exercises. A lot of them are tests and different physical skills that would be needed to be the king's assassin: archery, fighting, climbing, different physical things that they would need to be able to do. And so the captain of the guard is advising her to kind of be in the middle, like definitely don't be at risk of being eliminated from the competition, but don't necessarily be the standout person, especially at the beginning, that everyone is going to be targeting. And so I don't know, I love a good trial. As I said, I love a good tournament. And she is kind of getting used to life at the palace, going through all of this kind of daily routine of training. Every now and again, there's one of these tests. And another element here, too, there's an additional mystery element where some of the competitors are winding up dead and have been murdered. And so they're trying to figure out what's going on with that, too. So that's starting to add another fun element here. And I'm just having a grand time. This one, so the original ACOTAR trilogy is written in first person. This one's in third person. So a bit of a different style, and we're not quite as in her head. But I still love Selena. Like I don't know, she's kind of a badass. Having a good time getting to know her and, enjoying her dynamic with the captain of the guard, the prince, and some of her other relationships. There's another princess who's been coming in to learn more about this kingdom, their language, their culture, their customs. And Selena's kind of taken to being friends with this princess. So I'm enjoying her relationships with some different people and enjoying the dynamic, enjoying the tournament, this mystery of what's going on with the competitors, and how can they stop it if they have no idea what's going on? You know what I mean? So it's fun. Yeah, so that's the check-in for now. I forgot to mention how I'm about, I don't even know if you can see that very well. I'm in the ballpark of halfway through. So I'll see if I have anything else to add before the end of this one. This might just be kind of a short and sweet one, but anyway, all right, we need to go to Costco to get a bunch of stuff. So we're going to go do that. Fortunately, it's Friday, so yeah, going to be less terrible than going to Costco on the weekend. But yeah, we still have some stuff to get through. So yeah, I'll check in once I have more of Throne of Glass read or have finished it. So here to wrap up this vlog, I have finished Throne of Glass. Absolutely obsessed. Had such a fun time with this one. I love the trials. I love the mystery here. I love her relationship with some of the other characters, the prince, the guard. I loved it all, and I'm very excited for where this is going to go, and I can kind of see the potential for this really expanding and kind of getting into a different direction and going somewhere else with the storyline. I can kind of see where that could be going, and I'm very excited to see that happen. So I will be continuing, and the next vlog of my Sarah J Maas journey will include the second book in the series, which I think is Crown of Midnight. Yes, Crown of Midnight. And I'll also be reading The Assassin's Blade. I'm reading the short story collection third. I know people have strong feelings about where that one should be. I wish I could read both ways for the first time and compare, but I obviously can't. So we're just going to go with this way. And yeah, so very excited to continue with Crown of Midnight. And let me know your thoughts. Let me know some things to look forward to without spoiling anything else in the series, because I would love to know some of your favorite parts and what I have to be excited about, because I'm pumped. I'm pumped. This was so much fun. Definitely less romantic than the Akatar series, which I fully expected based on the descriptions. Like, I think this is more fantasy and a subplot of romance with different characters. So fully what I was expecting. And yeah, I love the politics. I always love a set of trials in a book. So yeah, with that, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more bookish content and to see me continue my Sarah J Maas / Throne of Glass journey, because it's going to be a journey. And yeah, so be sure to subscribe. I will put my Pango store down below if you want to check out what used books are on my Pango. I've got some great stuff there. And maybe we'll just do a separate video about that sometime. And then I also will link my Etsy below as I work to get a few more designs up. And I will also link my Instagram down below. I've been very active there recently in the past few months. And I will also leave more information about how you can support the Black Lives Matter movement. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.